After the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, started sending letters to the rulers of nearby empires. One of those letters went to the ruler of Busra, a city under the Eastern Roman Byzantine Empire, also known as the Ghassanid region. The Prophet, peace be upon him, also sent messengers to invite people to Islam peacefully. One such messenger was Harith ibn Umair al Azdi. He was sent to deliver a letter to the governor of Busra, but on his way he was stopped and killed by a man named Shurabil ibn Amr, a leader under the Romans. This act was very serious because killing a messenger in those times was like declaring war. The Prophet, peace be upon him, was deeply hurt by this and decided to send an army not for revenge but to uphold justice and show that Muslims would not accept such wrong actions. The Prophet, peace be upon him, gathered an army of 3,000 Muslim soldiers, the largest Muslim army at that point. It included many companions from both the Muhajirun and the Ansar. He appointed three leaders in a clear order. Zayd ibn Haritha, the beloved adopted son of the Prophet. If Zayd is martyred, then Jafar ibn Abi Talib will lead. If Jafar is martyred, then Abdullah ibn Nawah will lead. And if all three fall, then the army should choose a leader among themselves. The Prophet, peace be upon him, personally came out of Medina to bid farewell to the army. He advised them to be just, avoid harming civilians, and to fight only those who fight them. The army then began its journey north towards Muta in today's southern Jordan. When the Muslim army reached the area of Muta, they found out that the Romans had prepared a huge army to face them. Historical sources say the Roman army had around 100,000 to 200,000 soldiers, including Roman soldiers and Arab Christian allies like the Ghassanids. The Muslim army had only 3,000 men. This news shocked the Muslim soldiers. Some companions thought they should send word back to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and ask for reinforcements. But Abdullah ibn Rawaha, one of the leaders, stood up and reminded the army, "We did not come here to fight based on numbers. We came here to win martyrdom or victory. What we fear now is not the enemy but our own hesitation." His powerful words gave courage to the Muslims. They marched forward trusting Allah. The battle took place near a small village called Muta, surrounded by open fields and some hills. The two armies lined up. The Muslim army had a strong formation, but they were heavily outnumbered. Zayd ibn Haritha led the Muslims bravely. He held the flag of Islam and charged into the enemy ranks. But sadly, he was martyred in the battle. Next, Jafar ibn Abi Talib took the flag. He fought with great courage. At one point, his right arm was cut off, so he held the flag with his left. That too was cut off, so he held it with what remained of his arms. He was martyred after receiving over 90 wounds on his body. The Prophet, peace be upon him, later said Jafar was given wings in paradise and flies among the angels. That's why he is known as Jafar al-Tayyar Jafar, the one who flies. Then Abdullah ibn Rawaha picked up the flag. He hesitated for a moment but then pushed himself and entered the battlefield. He too was martyred. Now, three appointed leaders had been martyred. The Muslim army needed a new leader fast. They chose Khalid ibn al-Walid, a recent convert to Islam and an experienced commander. He had been a great general for the Quraysh in earlier battles, but now he fought for Islam. Khalid took command and used clever strategies. He switched the flanks of the army to confuse the Romans, making it look like fresh reinforcements had arrived. He also kept the army tight, avoided full clashes, and led the Muslims in a controlled retreat during the night. Through his planning, the Muslim army managed to avoid destruction and safely returned to Medina. He would later be called Saifullah, the Sword of Allah, a title given by the Prophet ﷺ. When the army returned to Medina, some people were upset. They didn't understand why the army had returned without a clear victory. But the Prophet, peace be upon him, welcomed them warmly. He said, "They are not retreating, they are returning as defenders of Allah." Children and families ran to meet the soldiers. The Prophet, peace be upon him, personally met Asma bint Umays, the wife of Jafar, and comforted her and her children. The Battle of Muta was not about winning or losing land. It was about honor, sacrifice, and standing up for what is right, even when the odds are against you. As the Quran says, do not think of those who are killed in the way of Allah as dead. They are alive with their Lord, receiving provision. Surah Al Imran 3 to 169. Thank you for watching this episode of History of Islam. Please like, share, and subscribe, and join us for the next video.